What's up guys, Guggen Barbecue back, and today we're going to be cooking a pork butt, and I want to test the Sous Vide hold method. So if you guys are interested in this experiment, go ahead and stay tuned, and also consider liking and subscribing to my videos. So let's get this pit fired up, and let's get this cook kicked off. Alright, so we've got our pork butt here. This is about 10 pounds. And I think I'm going to cut it in half so it cooks a little bit quicker. Let's go ahead and get the binder on here and then get our rub on there. So I'm just using regular yellow mustard, and we'll just put a little bit on there, or a lot of it, and spread that around. Give it a nice thin coat. This one's a little thick. This one's going to be a little bit better on this side. And just make sure we get all the sides really well. And you're not going to taste this mustard or anything like that. It's just so the rub sticks on a little bit better, but it's a totally optional step. You don't have to put a binder on here. Got our fat side down right now. Let's go ahead and get our rub on there. Now I'm using Uncle Steve's Shakes. If you guys haven't checked him out, it's a really good rub and he's a really cool guy. So we're using Lucky Shake. All his rubs are good though. You can't really go wrong. And this is more of a coarse rub here, you can see. And then I'm going to go behind with some Gator Shake. And this is going to be a little bit more fine, and it's going to give us a really nice red color. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to pat this in just a little bit. You don't want to smear it or rub it in, even though it's called rub. You just want to pat it in a little bit so it sticks, and that should be enough. And we're going to get all the sides here. All right, so these are ready to throw in the smoker. We got the pit up to temperature, and let's get them on there. We're going to do fat cap up since the way that this offset smoker kind of cooks. You've got the heat source down here in the firebox, and it's going to come up and the heat is going to rise. And it's going to come up over the top of the meat, and then it's going to exit and go down out the smokestack. So fat cap up on an offset smoker. Now you're going to want to put the fat cap facing wherever the heat is coming from. So if you have a pellet smoker, or if you're cooking on WSM, Weber Smoky Mountain, or anything where the heat source is coming from the bottom, you'd actually probably want to flip these over and have the fat cap facing down. So you guys stay tuned and we'll check it out and see how it's going in a couple hours. It's been about 7 to 8 hours and the internal temperature of our meat is around 180 degrees. So I'm going to pull it off and we're going to wrap it up in aluminum foil. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what it looks like. You can see we got a really nice bark forming. That fat has rendered really, really well. So let's get them off the pit. And that smells absolutely incredible. Look at that bark. Looks good. Let's get them back on the pit and we'll check back in a couple hours and hopefully they're done. Total cook time for these Boston butts has been about 8.5 hours. So I'm shooting for 190, 195 internal temperature of these Boston butts. So for the experiment, we're gonna hold it at 150 degrees in our sous vide bath overnight. We're gonna hope that this continues to make the meat more tender and render more of that fat and have a better end product. And most restaurants in Texas do the overnight hold, so I figured we would just try it out on a pork butt and see how it goes. So we're going to get these Boston butts bagged up after they cool off to about an internal temperature of 170 degrees and then get them into our water bath. Alright, so it's the following morning and these have been in that sous vide bath for about 12 hours. It's time to pull it apart and see how tender this is. But it is just shredding and pulling apart easy. Look how that bone just pulled right out. So the taste was great, the flavor was great. I didn't lose any smoke flavor using this method. If you're trying to prepare it the day ahead of time, this is a really convenient way to hold a pork butt overnight. So you guys give it a try. Let me know what your thoughts are. But thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video.